Hi, friends. Now we're going to have our Beatitude reflection time. Today we learn some of Jesus' most important teaching. Jesus had been spending a lot of time healing people. In addition to their physical hurts and pains, Jesus saw people also had broken hearts and unsteady hope. After healing so many people, Jesus decided to care for them in another way. So he led the people who had been following him to a mountain. Mountains had special meaning in Jesus' time. People believed that mountains were holy places to connect with God. Maybe because they reached up so high into the sky. Could you guys join me now and reaching your hands up as high as you can go? Maybe you can even stand up out of your chairs and get onto your tippy toes and stretch up as high as you can do it. And that's us signaling we're ready to go up to the top of the mountain. There are lots of stories in the Bible about people having a meaningful connection with God on a mountain. Can you think of any? I'm going to pause for a minute while you think. Now I'll tell you a few. Did any of you think of Moses receiving the 10 Commandments? How about Elijah witnessing God's presence through silence? I'd love to hear what you came up with. You can shout it out if you like. Jesus knew that mountains reminded people of God's presence with them. So he chose a mountain as a good place to give an important sermon. A sermon is a talk meant to teach and help people grow in their relationship with God. People were so committed to Jesus that they climbed the mountain to listen. We have sermons in our own church, don't we? Sometimes we call it the message, and sometimes we call it the sermon. But it's the same idea as Jesus. It's a time to help people grow closer to God with stories. There are so many ways to move up a mountain, isn't there? Some people hike. Can you guys hike with me? I want you to march your feet and move your arms like you're hiking. Or remember last week we did it with our fingers on our palms. Hike, hike, hike. Some people use ropes, and I've got a rope hooked up here in my dining room. So some people go mountain climbing with ropes and pulleys, don't they? Just like that. Some people roll up a mountain using a hiking wheelchair. Can you pretend you're sitting on a wheelchair and move the wheels to help you hike up that mountain? Some people might climb. So you might grab branches or rocks and climb up the mountain, grabbing one hand and then one foot. One hand, then one foot. So let's pretend to climb this mountain together. Pick whichever way you want to move up the mountain. Of all those choices, pick one and let's get ready to go. We're going to climb together as I count to 20. I'm going to use my rope. I think that would be the funnest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Phew! We made it, friends. Let's find a seat and settle our bodies after that big climb. In this Sermon on the Mountain, It was one of Jesus' first recorded sermons. Jesus lists there was 9 ways to be blessed. Now remember, to be blessed meant to be happy or satisfied. People all often thought about being happy and content as a result of their situation or how life was going for them. But as we know, Jesus likes to turn what we think we know upside down and show us a new way. So let's hear about Jesus teaching together. And I'm going to put this on the screen for you now, and then I'm going to read it to you. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. Then he began to speak to them and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteous sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Then the people who were listening to Jesus were astonished. Some were confused. Show me a confused face. How about that? Some were surprised. Do a surprised face. Some were relieved. Can you show me a relieved face? Phew. People who were mourning and were very sad were blessed, happy to the fullest. Meek, gentle people receive power over the earth. Can you show me power? Oh, strength. This is the opposite of what their culture said. Their culture told them power and possessions were what made a person happy or blessed. Did you notice how each beatitude seems to include 2 parts? First, Jesus makes a statement, and then he gives a promise. For example, Jesus made the statement, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." So that's his statement. And then Jesus gives a promise. "For theirs is the kingdom of heaven." In each of these verses, Jesus names a group of people we wouldn't usually think of as happy or content. And then he offers them a promise for healing and hope right now, not just in the future. You can go ahead and think of yourself in all these list of statements from Jesus. I bet you'll find yourself in one of them, and you'll be comforted from the promise that Jesus brings with it. The way Jesus promises these blessings is his way of bringing God's kingdom to us right here and right now.